Hello and welcome to a new episode of ReelTV. My name is Gabe Cohen.
My name is Kyle Wexler.
And my name is Kaan and and this week we're doing a new show, actually, a new segment, and we've never done this before. And I just like to, open up discussions about, different interpretations of what movies are. And this week we will be talking about what a fratty movie is. So, boys, what do you guys think a fratty movie is?
It's a great movie. I would say something that includes action, of course, drinking, not the greatest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't drink if you're underage. And just fun time.
Fun time.
Yeah, and we've got lots of movies on the mind that we want to talk about.
A lot of them. And then what would you say a fratty movie is?
I would think that it's strong brotherhood, people coming together. Obviously comedy is a good one, and action.
But I think bromance.
Yeah, a little bromance. I like strong brotherhoods. I think definitely are what to categorize them.
So saying that this summer was a pretty big summer for fratty movies per se, then which movie do you think was your favorite?
Well, I've got two that stood out to me.
We've been talking about a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I've been talking about Neighbors for a long time.
Great
Neighbors start with Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. Christopher Mintz-Plasse is in there. Well, it's a great cast. And then there's 22 Jump Street as well. Of course, Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill is he's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a funny thing because I feel like the two casts from those two movies have done like inter-movies amongst them.
Absolutely.
Just going back in time to obviously 21st Jump Street. Had a few people who starred in Neighbors, and then they just go back in time and they've had like all the similar casts have done similar movies together, going back to even Pineapple Express and all that, which is what we're going to talk about in a little bit. And going on from this, obviously looking at how these fratty movies or fraternity movies are interpreted, what I'm kind of curious about is do you think these movies make us look bad? Like, do you think this is like a negative interpretation of what we want to give?
Absolutely, I think definitely.
I agree.
We definitely portrayed in a terrible light, and definitely we come off as jerks. Yeah, fun light. We're definitely fun, but we come off as jerks who don't care about anything but ourselves.
It's always sensationalized, though. I will say that a lot of Neighbors was very sensationalized. Just everything was taken to the extreme.
Yeah.
But I guess that kind of is
in Hollywood.
Absolutely, everything.
It's always in Hollywood, but in real life, are fraternity brothers like that?
Yeah.
Some are, some aren't.
Yeah. Well, that's different people.
I definitely know a lot of people who are ridiculous. I'm not even gonna lie. They do a lot of stuff that they shouldn't do. But hey, it happens.
Even not everyone.
Even going back in time, going back to Animal House, old school.
John Belushi.
Yeah, thinking of those movies.
Old school, Will Ferrell.
Toga Party.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Old School is one of the classics. Absolutely.
Like thinking about it, don't toga parties actually still exist? So are they really exaggerating? Because I feel like to some degree, how real are these movies? They're a decent amount of truth to it.
They definitely stay true to a lot of what fraternity life is about. Like we said, the toga party, the drinking, of course, and to the parties. It's fun.
Yeah.
And then even moving on from that, another discussion that we've been having, behind the scenes, obviously, was that we've been calling these frat movies like Animal House, Old School, Neighbors, 22 Jump Street, but what else could we consider that?
I know we were talking about action movies. I honestly want to bring in the James Bond movies. They never.
True.
Daniel Craig, my favorite James Bond currently, and they're starting to film Bond. I think it's 24, not 100. I believe it's Bond 24, and they're starting.
They have
to
a
film
lot of those.
So and that's James Bond movies are always on in my fraternity house at least, and just action. I would say just action movies in general.
I think comedies too. Comedies are always on, I'm thinking
Adam Sandler movies,
Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller,
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, obviously Will Ferrell.
Danny McBride even.
They never.
No.
Even going back to TV
down.
shows, but we're sticking to movies right now. But still, anything with those in it. And then I feel like another big one is USA themed ones.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Miracle.
you were talking about Miracle.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Kurt Russell is an all-American man.
Love that guy.
The speech he gives in that movie is incredible. There's a lot of great sports movies,
Exactly.
Number one coach.
Even movies with big parties in it, like Project X. Or, do you think that could be considered, kind of like a fratty movie?
Absolutely, yeah. Maybe a preview to frats, maybe someone in high school that want to be in frats.
That movie's absurd.
Yeah.
It's pretty great though. And then 22 Jump Street with the whole party.
21 Jump Street even.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gotta love Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's the man.
He's
And
so
then,
great in it.
Even moving on from that, like what kind of upcoming movies are you guys looking forward to in terms of movies that would be in this kind of special genre?
Well, we were talking about Seth Rogen and James Franco. They always
just
team up.
Yeah.
They're like best friends.
They create stuff on a whole different scale. I could never stop watching their movies. Like truthfully, like going back to even your example,
Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express, I can literally watch that on and on again, and I still would watch it again. Like it'd still be fun, and I still laugh at that fight scene that you were talking about. I think we all know which fight scene that is. When they're like all three of them,
It's Danny McBride, James Franco, and Seth Rogen, and they just start hitting each other.
And everything starts breaking, and I feel like watching that is just hilarious.
It's hilarious. But what were you saying about upcoming movies? The new movie called The Interview. It's James Franco and Seth Rogen. Definitely watch the trailer for that. It's going to be hilarious.
North Korea has even almost declared World War III over it.
Exactly. They go over
that's going to be so interesting.
To assassinate Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un has come out against it, just screaming, if the U.S. shows it, they're going to go World War III, send in everything they got, which is hilarious.
It's going to be one of the next great it's going to be one of the next great comedies, 100%.
At least I hope it is, because
I've seen the
I don't know what I would do. But
they might. I mean, it could happen, but
it's never happened so far.
I trust them.
I've liked everything, but going on, we just are kind of scared.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Anyway, going on from that, our scientists over here at PSNtv has determined the actual definition to what a fratty movie is, and if you guys want to hear it, I'd like to share with you guys. So it kind of tailors back to kind of a lot of stuff that we talked about. It's pretty much any movie that is awesome, has explosions in it, has USA-themed stories in it, has Adam Sandler, Will Ferrell, and Danny McBride in it, has a raging party in it, is about building muscle, has unnecessary scenes, like nude scenes in it, and has an actual fraternity in it, obviously. That's pretty much the biggest part. Definitely. Is all considered.
And that's why Neighbors is probably the perfect example. Neighbors, old school.
What's your most favorite out of all those?
What's my favorite?
Out of all those fraternity-esque movies that we talked about, Animal House, Old School, Neighbors, 22 Jump Street.
I would have to say Old School, because it's
cool.
Vince Vaughn, it's Will Ferrell, and it's all you can ask for.
See, I'd have to say Animal House.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Frank the Tank
you're my boy,
is really
Blue.
good, though.
Come on, you're my boy.
Dude, we don't have people streaking anymore. We need to bring that back.
No,
actually, no,
we
we
need to bring
shouldn't.
that back.
I take that back.
Somebody do it.
We're going streaking!
But yeah, okay, and then tune in, I guess, next week to see what else we're going to be talking about. And thank you for joining us here on PSNtv on our talks about different genres and different types of movies. And as I said, I'm Kaan and thank you for listening.
Gabe Cohen.
Kyle Wexler.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Welcome back to ReelTV. Before we get into news for today, we're going to go talk about some recent releases coming up, so get ready for that. Next Friday, Gone Girl is being released in theaters. On the occasion of his 5th wedding anniversary, Nick Dunn, played by Ben Affleck, reports that his wife, Amy, played by Rosamund Pike, has gone missing. Under pressure from the police and a growing media frenzy, Nick's portrait of a blissful union begins to crumble. Soon his lies, deceits, and strange behavior has everyone asking the same dark question. Did Nick Dunn kill his wife? Dun, dun, dun.
Also being released in theaters is Annabelle. In this spin-off of 2013's The Conjuring, a pig-tailed doll possessed by a demon threatens a young couple with a newborn baby.
Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn, we're switching the news, by the way, guys, just so you know. Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn will star in the 2nd season of HBO's True Detective. The 8th episode drama series will begin production in California this fall. It's too long. The premium cable channel said Tuesday. Farrell will play a compromised detective, Ray, who is divided between his loyalty to his bosses in a corrupt police department and a mobster with a hold over him. Vince Vaughn co-stars as Frank, a criminal whose move into legitimate business is disrupted by a business partner's murder. HBO's had a critically acclaimed hit with the 1st season of True Detective, which starred the Emmy-nominated Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. I think one of a female lead was also just rumored to be circulating that role, so exciting.
Interesting. Bryan Singer is back in the X-Men director's chair. The filmmaker has closed a deal to direct X-Men Apocalypse, the latest X-Men tentpole that follows on the heels of this summer's X-Men Days of Future Past. The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. Singer directed the first 2 X-Men movies, missed the third and the fourth when he jumped to direct Superman Returns for Warner Brothers, and was able to wrap things up nicely for his original cast with Days of Future Past. The movie grossed over $745 million worldwide.
That was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
I also heard that they're potentially recasting Cyclops and Storm, but who knows? Hulu is in the bad robot business. The streaming service has handed out a straight-to-series order for 11/22/63, a 9-hour event series from J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot Productions, and based on the Stephen King's 2011 novel, The Hollywood Reporter has learned. 11/22/63 is described as a thriller in which high school English teacher Jake Epping travels back in time to prevent the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, but his mission is threatened by Lee Harvey Oswald, his falling in love, and the past itself, which doesn't want to be changed. Also, it doesn't sound like this will take place in New England. Also, if Stephen King has anything to do with it, it will not be that good.
Of all the 1980s comedies to adapt for television, Real Genius wasn't the first one to come to mind. Regardless, a TV remake is on the way from Adam Sandler's Happy Madison Productions. Sandler is teaming up with 3 Arts Entertainment and Sony TV for an update that shifts the 1985 satire into a workplace comedy, according to The Wrap. The film starred Val Kilmer as a genius in his senior year at a technical university. The TV show, if it gets picked up by NBC, will be set in the present day and center around 2 co-workers with incompatible personalities. If it sounds a bit like Comedy Central's Workaholics, that's because the series' co-executive producer Craig DiGregorio wrote the script for the new series, along with Park and Recreation's David King.
I won't watch it. Adam Sandler's name's on it, I won't watch it. Fans wanting to see more of the classic H.R. Geiger Alien on the big screen are, unfortunately, going to have to keep waiting. Ridley Scott today tells Yahoo Movies UK that despite their tease in the first film, the Xenomorphs won't appear in his upcoming Prometheus 2. The beast is done, says Scott of the creature design. Cooked. I got lucky meeting Geiger all those years ago. It's very hard to repeat that. It just happens to be one of those who forced it to happen, though, because they said it's obscene. They didn't want to do it, and I said, I want to do it, it's fantastic. But after 4, I think it wears out a little bit. There's only so much snarling you can do. I think you've got to come back with something more interesting, and I think we found the next step. I thought the engineers were quite a good start. Set to feature the return of Michael Fassbender, I really don't know how, and Noomi Rapace. Prometheus 2 hits theaters on March 4th, 2016. That's all we got for news today. Stay tuned for more from ReelTV. Stay classy, guys.